Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to our English news edition, coming to you from Canal, Algérie, and in today's top stories. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, holds today the periodic meeting with the national press representatives, during which he evokes a set of national and international issues. Under the high patronage of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman chairs an international conference on the militancy of the Algerian women. More social segments are joining the Moroccan demonstrations to denounce their precarious socio-professional conditions. And we wrap up our news with a musical break from Batna province, now hosting the Timgad Festival. First in our news, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, is to hold today the periodic meeting with the national press representatives, during which he will evoke a set of national and international issues. To this effect, President Tebboune pledged an increase in salaries and unemployment allowance, since Algeria has the financial means for this option. He also expressed his gratitude for Sonatrach workers who spared no effort to give a boost to their company. The President of the Republic seized this opportunity to underscore the excellent relations between Algeria and Italy.
على الشيء اللي يقوموا به ما شفنا مشكل ولا نزاع ولا سوء تفاهم مع إيطاليا. ندخلوا اليوم في الإنتاج المشترك، ننتج مع بعض ومستعدين هما باش ينتجوا معنا إنتاج ميكانيكي، إنتاج سيارات، إنتاج بواخر.
كاين توجه نحو تدريس اللغة الإنجليزية في الابتدائي. سيطبق هذا القرار هذا العام سيادة الرئيس؟
إن شاء الله يطبق، لأن باش تدخل الجزائر في العالمية. الفرنسية غنيمة حرب، ولكن اللغة الدولية هي الإنجليزية. يكون تعديل حكومي طبيعي، يعني كل حكومة في العالم يجي بعد ظرف زمني وين تتطلب تعديل، لازم الشيء اللي التزمنا به يتطبق. يعني ما عندناش الحق نديروا عرض عسكري، ما عندناش الحق نبينوا اللحمة اللي موجودة بين الجيش والشعب لأنه جيش أمة. ما عندنا أكثر من القدرة، عندنا المصداقية. الأسرة العربية تجتمع في الجزائر، والجزائر أولى بجمع الشمل.
This periodic meeting will be aired today starting from 9:15 p.m. on the national television and radio channels AL24, in addition to the other private channels. Under the high patronage of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, the Prime Minister chaired the opening session of the International Conference on the Militancy of Algerian Women, from the War of Liberation to the Edification Process. The conference is held in the framework of a partnership between the Ministry of War Veterans, the Ministry of National Solidarity, Family and Women's Affairs, under the theme Women, Exceptional Struggle and Creativity. During this meeting, Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman stressed the great importance attached by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, to women. Let's have a listen to him.
This political will stemming from our constitution allowed the consolidation of women's positions in our society, as the numbers and statistics show. Convinced of women's vital role in society and the country's building process, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, gave a great importance to Algerian women in his program that the government is attempting to implement. The President of the Republic will continue these efforts to empower women by improving their situation, reinforcing their rights, and protecting them against all forms of violence, alongside the creation of a mechanism for strengthening women's entrepreneurship, namely in rural areas. Algerian women asserted themselves on the militancy scene and in the fight for the country's independence against the brutal colonialism, which in turn inspired many other liberation conservation movements around the world. Historical figures like war veteran Leila Fatma Nsumer showed heroism in the face of colonialism and inspired other courageous Algerian women to defend their country.
ناصعة رسمتها المجاهدة ليلى فاطمة نسومر ورفيقاتها ممن سرن على دربهن من المجاهدات الثائرات ضد الظلم والتحقير
The desalination of seawater, a major challenge for Algeria to secure drinking water for citizens. Najah Tayyar tells us more about the state's efforts to ensure water security.
Le Bateau Cassé, the desalination station of the seawater. It is here where the drinking water is ensured for the inhabitants of eastern Algiers, a project launched a few months ago. This station is a part of an emergency project of 150,000 cubes that we have put into service. We have distributed more than 1,100,000 cubic meters. I am an energy engineer specialized in installation and turbo machinery. I am here to ensure the running of the station. We are lucky to be the first in the field. We aim to be always updated and contribute in more development of the country. At Al Marsa station of Ain Taya, huge means and sustained efforts are deployed in a race against time to deliver the project on time. The project of Al Marsa involves the construction of a seawater desalination station with a production capacity of 60,000 cubic meters per day. Ultra-modern equipments have been acquired, such as water pumps and energy recuperators. The seawater desalination option guarantees the country's water security and sovereignty in an international context marked by a fierce battle for water security.
In accordance with the guidelines of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, the kickoff for the exploitation of Garaj Bilat mines was given on Saturday. Taking the floor, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohammed Arqab, recalled that reaching this stage took several years of studies with major international laboratories. The Garaj Bilat project is a strategic partnership with a large iron production capacity that will enable Algeria to become an international supplier. More details with Manal Ammari.
The Garaj Bilat project in Tindouf province is part of Algeria's strategic alternatives, making it a focal point for many investors around the world and the international iron markets. This partnership, achieved through a triple alliance with large Chinese companies, namely MCC, Heyday Solars, and CWE, will allow Algeria to produce raw materials in the mechanical and public works industries on a global scale. Due to the mine's magnitude, the Garaj Bilat's investment is open to viable global partnerships. We need to produce about 20 million tons per year for the project that just started to fulfill Algeria's growing needs so that we can move towards exports. After the go-ahead of the Garaj Bilat mine exploitation works, Algeria will become one of the largest iron and steel producers in the world. We sell raw materials to iron and steel companies in Algeria. We want to export large quantities of our products locally, starting with Oran, Bashar and Tindouf provinces, to complete railways and develop various regions. The technical data confirms that the production capacity of the Garaj Bilat mine can amount to 19 million tons per annum, in addition to the creation of no less than 5,000 new job opportunities.
The allegations currently being peddled by some media outlets about Algeria's alleged retreat from its trade relations with Spain are incorrect, as no official information has been made public on this subject by competent authorities. Decisions concerning financial and commercial matters that concern the state are taken in the Council of Ministers by the Ministry of Finance or by the Bank of Algeria and are announced to official channels. Economic decisions, particularly those related to Algeria's relations with its trade partners, remain the exclusive rights of the state and not of professional organizations such as the Association of Banks and Financial Institutions. The latter, to which these media refer, cannot replace the state institutions that are in charge of finance, economy, and foreign trade. It is a professional association that defends the interests of its members. In accordance with the instructions of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, to launch a regular commercial maritime line between Algiers and the Senegalese capital, Dakar. The first commercial maritime line for goods shipment between the two capitals will be officially launched today from Algiers port. Internationally, in the international news, protests hit several sectors in Morocco. After students in energy sector, it is the turn of opticians to sit in and denounce the rapid increase of fake opticians. More details with Anya Al-Bahri.
Opticians from all regions of Morocco were ready to participate in the sit-in held in front of the regional premises of professional training in Meknes. Coming from all cities, the opticians responded to the call launched by the National Professional Union of Opticians, who denounced overruns observed in the exercise of the profession. Indeed, for a few years, the situation has only worsened. Fake Moroccan opticians continue to proliferate, threatening the activity of real opticians. This issue concerns the visual health of the Moroccan citizens. The problem is serious and urgent. The solutions are there. We want the ministry to intervene to open dialogue and achieve a positive change. Our presence here today is to condemn this crime committed against this sector. We hold the ministry fully responsible for not finding clear and realistic solutions. The SPENOM considered taking this initiative as a last resort in order to be heard after several attempts. The National Professional Union of Opticians intends to hold a series of demonstrations in order to make the voice of its members heard and to keep its prerogatives, which have been guaranteed to it for years by law.
Still with Morocco, where demonstrations are held on a daily basis to denounce the unbearable economic situation. Rania Al-Bahri again.
Protests are gaining ground in Morocco, raising prices, water shortages, attacks on freedoms, violations of rights, and normalization with the Zionist entity risk to create a real social implosion. Despite the repressive policy adopted by the Moroccan regime to maintain its grip on society, the population of several cities in the kingdom are raising up to form a common front against corruption and the tyranny of Al-Makhzen. These protest movements are accompanied by a large campaign on social networks calling for the departure of Prime Minister Aziz Akhnouch, who has failed in all his responsibilities towards his people. Several Moroccan cities have also experienced protests against water shortages as a consequence of the drought, but also due to the bad management of the authorities, which deepen the current economic crisis in the country. Anti-normalization protests have not ceased since the Moroccan regime formalized relations with the Zionist entity in December 2020, against the will of Moroccan people who are demanding the withdrawal of these relations. Last week, opponents of normalization held a protest action in front of Parliament, denouncing the visit of the Zionist army chief to Rabat and the regime's determination to stick to its unpopular policy.
On to the Sahrawi file. The African Union Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security visited the Sahrawi refugee camp accompanied by a large delegation of officials from the decision-making bodies of the African Union. The goal is to inquire about the progress so far. Najah Tayyar has the full story.
The Commissioner of the African Union paid a visit to a number of Sahrawi facilities to meet political and military officials and executives.
The government officials of Algeria, as well as the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. We have been to refugee camps, we've met children, youth, and women. We've also met with ministers.
For the Polisario Front, this visit is an important opportunity to call for abiding with the African Union resolutions meant to find settlement and allow the Sahrawi Republic to snatch its independence. This visit aims to inquire closely about development in the Sahrawi cause and to implement the decision of the African Union. We are very pleased to receive the African Union Commissioner. At the end of his visit, the Commissioner of the African Union also met the Sahrawi President Ibrahim Ghali.
We wrap up our news edition with Team Get Festival, which kicked off in Bet province. The ambience was so festive with the participation of several famous singers. Let's enjoy these fantastic musical moments. Thank you for watching and Happy New Hijri Year.